Welcome to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
It's a big day today.
Saturday's in labor.
Even more important.
Oh, okay, sorry.
What's more important?
13 years.
For what?
My anniversary with Cindy.
That is a wonderful feat.
Oh,
Cindy,
that she could put
the
up with
award
this.
is in the mail.
Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
Well, happy anniversary.
She needs to be, we need to send her a
I thought
letter
last
to...
week we did 12 years.
No.
Nope, that would have been...
A week before there was something else.
We need to send her a letter to the Vatican to have her sainthood after putting up with me for
That's so funny.
13 years.
Go to Brazil. I think the Pope's going somewhere.
Oh, we can catch him there?
Yeah, you can run over there.
Yeah, but you can't get through those Pope-mobile walls. You can't talk to him.
No, they're
No,
talking
you
about...
can't.
No. Okay, Saturday they were...
That's it? I can't talk about Kate?
Kate! Talk about Kate.
She's in labor. This is amazing. This is wonderful. She's been in labor for 11 hours.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep last night.
You're so mean.
I was so riled up. So excited.
I think it's exciting. I love watching them. I think they're a sweet couple. They look like they're genuinely in love. And despite the whole monarch and, you know, the what you can and you can't do, they've been able to find a piece of happiness. And I think it's so great. Oh, I'm on the show with two guys.
No, I truly,
I just never could
was...
get behind the whole British monarchy thing. I think it's a drain
I
on the
love
resources.
to watch it. I love watching it.
You know?
All of it, yes. The protocol, what you can do, what you can't. Awesome.
Very exciting.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been.
She's like Kardashian's kid. I'm just so excited about this.
Well, I want to
It
see.
is
I want to
cool.
see that kid too.
Okay.
That kid should be. Well, I don't know because Kanye's the father.
It's going to grow up a mess.
No, Chris's kids are not messes. They're very productive kids.
Yeah, they are. That's true.
The boys don't fare well, but
No.
but if you're a girl, you got it going on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Okay. Thank
The eye
you.
roll.
Okay, so all over America, Saturday,
Yes.
they were rallying, protesting, all getting together because of what originally happened in Florida
Yes.
with the George Zimmerman trial. In L.A. County, one of the L.A. County Board of Supervisors on Friday called for a boycott of the state of Florida.
No Disney World.
There's an assemblyman in the California State Assembly who's preparing something that he wants to voice on the floor because California, as a state, should now boycott Florida.
Well, he did that with Arizona with the passage of all their immigration stuff.
issues. Well, that wasn't. I'm not the Trayvon Martin.
Now, we had a gathering here in the Antelope Valley, and we'll talk about that in a minute, that actually took place at the courthouse. But, you know what? What does that say when you want to boycott a state? Now, what does that say about the jurors that reached this decision?
I don't think it reflects the jurors. It
You don't
reflects
think
the
so?
letter of the law.
So you're telling me that because of the decision they made, finding him not guilty, that America now wants to boycott Florida? They're talking about boycotting Disney World. They're talking about every convention. I mean, come on now.
Listen, I think that it's a bunch of people that are just trying to reach anywhere for something to do because it was a great injustice that was done. But for the most part, the people that I talk to do not blame the jurors because they were provided with a set of rules and with evidence that fell short. So if anything, people are upset with the prosecution and the job that they did because it seems that they fell short altogether. But I don't know, I haven't heard anybody that had any specific issues with the jurors outside of the one juror that was thinking about writing a book, and there's some people that believe that she had her mind made up early into the trial, but that was it. People are just trying to figure out what they can do, Steve, because it just doesn't sit well for the majority of us.
You know what, and I understand that.
So,
I understand that the verdict didn't sit well, but the President of the United States himself went on television and said, we have a justice system The jury reached a verdict.
Yeah.
The court has spoken.
Yeah.
Okay? That's POTUS right there.
Yeah.
But then we have an LA County Board of Supervisor who now wants to boycott the state of Florida.
Well, he's grabbing, you know.
Okay? A state assemblyman that wants to boycott the state of Florida.
Yes.
They have a court system. They have a legal process. They have a judicial system. The jurors reached a verdict based on what they had in front of them. And now we want to condemn the work that they did. Is that making sense?
Condemn
Well, I
the
already told you,
prosecutors.
it's not the jurors that we're condemning, or that the majority of people have issue with. It's the system that they're working with.
You know, I think some of this is really dumb because some of these people boycotting Florida, if they were president of the United States, we'd be at war with Utah. That's how I feel.
What?
Yeah, I think that's the most
What
insane.
Utah do?
Nothing.
Oh,
There are states
Big data
across
center,
America
that's
that
what
have
it's
stand your ground laws. Now, stand your ground was not part of this.
Yeah,
bill.
I was
so
gonna
what
say
are you
that didn't
mentioning
even come
that
into
for?
play.
That's not even the issue.
They're
the
calling
issue still.
for the repeal of that law, which I doubt
No,
very
that's
much
not
will
gonna
ever
happen.
get repealed.
No, but they can look at that law a little bit more serious and say, you know what, you can stand your ground if it's proven that you've done anything and everything within your power to get away from making that decision.
Yeah, if there's no escape.
No escape. Don't be just, I'm big and bad because I can stand my ground. What you say? And blow somebody away. That's crazy. And that's kind of what it looks like it is. I don't know for sure, but I'm just saying, since this is coming into the spotlight and everybody's dissecting it, it seems to me that people have been leaning on that, like, I got big cojones.
Mm-hmm.
and that would
Right
be
on
the
the
reason.
edge there.
And that would be the reason that they're going that way.
I think it's absolutely nuts. Myself, I absolutely do, and I just want to go on record. It's saying that now in the Antelope Valley on Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of people got together and gathered at the courthouse on Saturday,
In Lancaster, yeah.
which was a community prayer and call to action because of what transpired in Florida, and it was to show solidarity in light of the recent verdict, the George Zimmerman verdict. A lot of people spoke at that rally in the Antelope Valley. One of the people that spoke there was a city of Lancaster commissioner by the name of Stan Muhammad. And we're going to play a soundbite now of what he said. Now, a lot of people are very upset. We received a press release that made reference to his comments and actually was calling for Lancaster Mayor Rex Parris to remove him as a commissioner. You listen to his comments here, and then you tell me what you think. Can we go ahead and run that?
I have a challenge for everybody that's listening to this message here. Are we going to continue to rally? Are we going to continue to march? Are we going to continue to be outraged by something that we know the history of? Or are we going to take action here in the Antelope Valley? Are we going to begin to educate our young people here in the Antelope Valley? Are we going to begin to mobilize and organize here in the Antelope Valley? Because Trayvon Martin got killed in Florida. But how many Trayvon Martins do we have here in the Antelope Valley? If we take the statistic and take the poll, how many young black males over the past 15 to 20 years has been killed right here in the Antelope Valley to gun violence? So when we create the Antelope Valley Youth Ambassadors for Peace, we're going to bring back to our community the statistics. We're going to begin to organize like never before in honor of Trayvon Martin. We're going to begin to mobilize like never before in honor of Trayvon Martin. We're going to call this movement the Antelope Valley Youth Ambassadors for Peace. And we're going to begin to empower them with the tools necessary to organize like never before. There's going to be 4 areas that we're going to concentrate on. One of them is social awareness. We all need social awareness, don't we? Especially our young people who's falling behind these. I can't even speak the way I want to speak because but the young people is falling behind faggots in this industry. Straight up. Individuals who have sold, they sold to the devil for a piece of paper. And this is why we listen to rap music. What do you hear?
All right.
Mm.
Now, that was the Lancaster Commissioner, Stan Mohammed, talking about how the young people in America are following behind faggots. Those were his comments.
That sounded a little hateful.
Those were his comments. The
That's
press
not
release,
ridiculous.
the press release that I received yesterday stated that, you know, what's unfortunate is, you know, standing almost next to him was a member of the LGBTQ community for the Antelope Valley.
Oh.
Also, one of the event organizers for this entire event, who found Mr. Muhammad's homophobic slur.
I don't think he's scared of him. He just don't like him.
Inexcusable, intolerant, egregious, and therefore they're asking Lancaster Mayor R.X. Perez to remove Stan Mohammed from his commission post.
You won't be getting any free drinks at the back door, will he?
Now, you know what? In all fairness, here's the thing. In all fairness, I think we need to take a break, but when we come back, let's get Mr. Muhammad on the line.
Absolutely.
We'll play the soundbite for him.
Oh, I think he remembers what he said.
And let him have an opportunity to explain his comment. Because maybe we're just getting it wrong.
No.
Is that possible?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like he put his foot in his mouth. But
Sounds like something got away from him.
yeah.
Okay, and, you know, obviously he was very passionate and emotional, but we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to AV Newscast on News Talk Radio 1380, the #1 News Talk Radio program in the Antelope Valley, and we'll be right back.
AVNewsCast.com comes to News Talk 1380 every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning from 8 to 9. Discover what's news in the Antelope Valley.
This isn't your grandpa's talk radio.
No, it's not. We're going to be live, edgy, and we're not going to pull any punches. Hi, this is Jeff Sheldon from AVNewsCast.com. Join me and my co-host Steve Benson live on News Talk 1380 AM every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning from 8 to 9. We're taking all the technology from AVNewsCast.com and bringing it to News Talk Radio 1380. You can catch us on the radio and watch our live video stream on your computer or smartphone. So call in and let's talk about what's affecting you in the Antelope Valley.
We'll talk about news you can use, community events, seniors, families, and family members who help care for seniors. We'll talk with professionals in the healthcare industry and the senior community about senior-oriented education and issues. We'll have guests and panel discussions on topics that affect all of us, and we'll open the phones for your questions and input. Aging for Life is about you. 7:30 a.m. Wednesday, right here on News Talk 1380.
Hello again. This is Bob Albus of AV Veterans Talk here on News Talk 1380. When you hear this, that means you're getting ready to fly. And that's just what we do every Friday from 11 a.m. till noon, right between Dennis Miller and Sean Hannity. Each week, we fly right into the subjects that are important to our Valley's veterans and pay tribute to those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of our country. So tune in and join our formation. Check us out on Facebook at AV Veterans or call us at 266-4420. So for now, it's wheels up and blue skies. Bob out.
Trouble getting your golf ball in the air? You may have trajectory dysfunction, better known as TD. There's only one way to treat TD. Get a grip golf talk on News Talk 1380. Symptoms of listening can include going to the range frequently to practice your golf trip. Ask your physician if your heart is healthy enough to call in. If practicing your stroke for more than 4 hours, seek immediate attention to avoid any long-term injury. Individuals have reported a sudden decrease on their scorecard as a side effect. Wipe out TD. Tune in Saturday mornings at 9 to News Talk 1380 AM and let's get a grip.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
Yes.
Now, we'll try to get Mr. Muhammad on the line. I did speak with him this morning.
Yeah.
And he has agreed to come on the show.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to try to dial him in and see if we can do that with our wonderful technology here that can't even dial out. But, you know, Angelina, let me ask you a question. And Jeff, you as well.
Sure.
With everything going on, and this has very much become, you know, what happened in Florida has very much made a lot of divisions. And you know, now, first it was black and white, okay? Now, and then we're talking about racial profiling and what may have transpired in Florida, although racial profiling wasn't a part of what went on in the Zimmerman case.
No, that wasn't a part of what the prosecution brought. It was absolutely what motivated him to reach out to him.
That's an assumption because it was not part of the trial.
No. Let's not talk about what was part of the trial because they screwed up. They didn't present that correctly. We know that it was racial profiling, and I'll tell you why. The people that had been burglarizing the community beforehand was black. When Zimmerman called the police, that night, he said, it's a black guy. Meaning, it's what I saw or what we know to be the people of offense prior.
When asked for a description by the 911 operator, volunteered that he was a black guy.
Yeah, it was a black guy, but the reason why it was suspicious
black,
to him is because it was a black guy, because the previous break-ins were done by black guys. That's what triggered the whole thing. He thought he looked like one of the guys that possibly had committed the crimes before.
Okay.
The way I heard it, there was a guy in a hoodie meandering and didn't say anything about black until he was asked for a description.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Okay.
I totally understand. That's how he was. Of course, that's the way it went down. But in his mind, my opinion, the reason why he looked suspicious is because he knew from past occurrences that the guys that had been breaking in and causing this havoc in the community was black. So, of course, he's looking at this one black guy. Hey, what's going on? Here's another one.
He was using the finger quotes usual suspect thing, like the cops say.
Okay. But what transpired there created a lot of division across America. Now,
okay, can I say something?
Just a minute.
Well, because I don't think that it's causing division. I think it's comments like that make people believe that there's division. I don't have division in my heart based on this. Based on the outcome of the trial. I don't feel that I'm divided amongst the people in my community because I feel one way or the other. So I don't know where's the division.
Well, okay. On top of that now, on Twitter, we have a whole new Twitter now. Okay? A whole new Twitter called Black Twitter. Okay? Now, Don Lemon started talking about this on Saturday on CNN.
How could you get to Black Twitter? Where's my black card? I can't get in it.
You know what? Because you're out of touch.
I'll make you one.
Did
Black Twitter?
Did we give Mr. Muhammad the number? Okay. All right. So hopefully we're going to get Mr. Muhammad to call in. Then on top of that, okay, now we've got somehow the gay community came into this whole thing now.
I don't think it has anything to do with Zimmerman, but we'll find out when the man calls in. Based on his comment, he was just alluding to other issues that we have, but I didn't hear him trying to relate the gay community to what happened with Zimmerman. Did you hear it that way?
Where does his remark come in? I mean, we can play it again if you need to hear it again.
Well, I think, remember when he's saying, we're going to work on these issues, and one issue is about social connectness or whatever he said. I mean, we got to get him on the phone. I mean, we could always play it again, but he seemed to have been going into 4 different avenues that he wants to address with this new commission that we tend to always put together when something tragic happens in the world.
Well, I think the gay thing kind of does come into it because, according to the conversation with Trayvon and his girlfriend, she thought he was some kind of creepy pedophile that was chasing after her.
He didn't say pedophile. He said creepy ass white guy.
But from her point of view, when telling him to run, it was understood that she thought he was going to try to get him.
Yeah.
And
I would have too.
Yeah, which is another reason to have that jacket.
Yes. The one that says security.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of assumptions, and we're going to guess and guess and guess until the cows come home because Trayvon is dead and Zimmerman's going to only articulate what's going to be in his benefit. So, I mean,
or until the next horrible thing comes along.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, in regards to this specifically, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that there's division. I think that people are trying to make it divided now. I think that, I mean, I keep saying the same thing because I just don't think that I'm being heard. Because I really, really think, and this crosses all color lines, that we just live in a society of conditioning, and subconsciously we'll be conditioned to believe that we see something that's wrong based on past experiences or maybe shows that we saw on television, whatever it is that's conditioned us to believe. The same way that we believe that certain looks are beautiful, certain things look like criminal behavior. It's conditioning. And
how do we beat that out of people?
I think we have to acknowledge that that's what it is. And when we walk down the street and we say to ourselves, hey, this looks like whatever, then we need to, take that step back and say, you know what, I'm not going to assume anything, because that's what it is. People are assuming that one thing or the other looks like a crime, or looks beautiful, or looks inappropriate, or, your life is not acceptable. All these things are based on conditioning that we've been dealing with in society. And we need to steer clear from that. And we need to recognize it. And I believe that the majority of us, the majority of people need to stop being afraid of the fact that we need to work on conditioning. Stop saying, I'm not a racist, I'm not prejudiced. Yeah, we are. We all got issues in our lives. We all do. I mean, I don't believe Zimmerman was a racist. I think he was conditioned, and he was conditioned to think that...
He had a little ethnic discomfort.
You're silly.
Well,
I don't think that he had any ethnic discomfort. I think that he was conditioned to believe that crime looked a specific way. And that was it. And he went for it. We talk about the justice system all the time, about how if you're a young black person going into courthouse, you're going to fare really badly. You're not getting that break. I mean, what is that? That's conditioning. The judge is used to seeing somebody that looks like this as a criminal. So he's used to not giving that person the benefit of the doubt. The prosecution is used to giving you 5 to 10 years. I mean, whatever it is, it's conditioning.
Well, that's the tough place where it's going to be. It's not just your average Joe Blow, but fixing the cops and the judicial system.
Yeah, because we're all
getting
people.
That mindset out of there. I mean, it's more ingrained in their head, I would imagine, because they deal with crime day to day. That's where it's going to be hard to get it.
And their life is on the line. So it's going to be really tough for them to say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to make any assumptions because you look a certain way. Let me deal with you, how I think that you should be treated. It's going to be difficult. Yeah, but we need to do it. We need to wake up and do it. I mean, I think that...
Do you think maybe this could work as a catalyst then?
I think so. Going? If people would just listen to that, if people would just take a step back and really just listen to that, I think that it can. Absolutely. That show, What Would You Do, goes a long way. Because
although I heard a little more talk about that What Would You Do show.
What? What'd you hear?
That, you got the white guy out there in a polo shirt working on a bicycle.
No, they both were in polos. They both were in polos.
I heard that the black guy was doing the hoodie thing.
No, he wasn't. It's online. You can look at it. Okay. They were both dressed the same.
I have to take a look at that.
And what, the hoodie means that you're a criminal? He didn't have a hood on, even if he did have one on. He didn't have the hood part on his head, is what I'm saying. It wasn't. They were both dressed similarly.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, you have to check it out.
Send me a link if you can find it.
I'll send you the link. It was on I put it on my Facebook page. But every week on Fridays, What Would You Do comes on. And they quite often have racially charging situations where you can see constantly there's a disparity between how black people are treated and how white people are treated, and how in a lot of the cases white people are given the benefit of the doubt, not only by white people but by black people too, because we've been conditioned to believe that this is what it looks like. So it's really stirring, and I think that if people would just take a minute to think about it, we might get somewhere.
Okay. We've got Mr. Muhammad on the line.
Oh, great.
We had to go all the way back and get Alexander Graham Bell to get this done. What,
Well, don't talk too soon.
beyond
Let's just make
frustrating
sure.
for me, okay? Is this Mr. Muhammad?
Yes, sir.
Hi, good morning. You are on live on News Talk Radio in the Antelope Valley, and thanks for allowing us to put you on the air.
Well, thank you, Steve, for reaching out to me this morning.
What I'd like to do is, you and I, before the show, we talked, and I told you that I received a copy of a press release. And in the press release, it talked about, and I quote, a homophobic slur that you made, and the press release was asking for Lancaster's Mayor R.X. Paris to remove you from your commission. Now, I haven't had a chance to play the soundbite for you, but I will, so that you can hear it, and then you can make a comment on what we heard, because maybe we're taking it out of context. Maybe you can explain what you meant by it. But let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and play it for you for just a second. It's only 2 minutes long.
All right, thank you.
Okay? Go ahead.
Now, I have a challenge for everybody that's listening to this message here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we going to continue to rally? Are we going to continue to march? Are we going to continue to be outraged by something that we know the history of? Or are we going to take action here in the Antelope Valley? Are we going to begin to educate our young people here in the Antelope
Okay,
Valley?
hang on.
Are we going to begin to mobilize and organize here in the Antelope Valley? Because Trayvon Martin got killed in Florida. And how many Trayvon Martins do we have here in the Antelope Valley? If we take the statistic and take the poll, how many young black males
Are you able to hear it, Stan?
15
No,
to 20
sir.
years
Okay.
has been killed?
Let me see if I can do it for you in another way. Because this is
Well, Stan, do you recall what you said yet? Do you recall what you...
I can recall, but it would be good to hear that to see if it's been edited at all.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that. Do we have another way for him to hear it?
Put it through these speakers. Okay?
Yeah, there. Might be able to hit it that way.
Yes, sir.
Stan, do you have a radio in your house?
Turn up my
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get the reception.
now play it through my headset.
Joys of live radio.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and play the soundbite.
Back.
Amazing.
Message here. Are we going to continue to
Turn
rally?
down my headset, please.
Are we going to continue to march? Are we going to continue to be outraged by something that we know the history of? Or are we going to take action here in the Antelope Valley? Are we going to begin to educate our young people?
Yeah, I can't hear it, but I'll do fine though. So. I don't mind coming into this radio.
Well, based on what you do recall you saying,
Yeah, do this, man.
what was your intent on speaking of gay people in that manner?
Say that again.
Yeah.
Here.
Outraged by something that we know the history of? Or are we going to take action here in the Antelope Valley? Are we going to begin to educate our young people here in the Antelope Valley? Are we going to begin to mobilize and organize here in the Antelope Valley? Because Trayvon Martin got killed in Florida. But how many Trayvon Martins do we have here in the Antelope Valley? If we take the statistic and take the poll, how many young black males over the past 15 to 20 years has been killed is necessary to organize like never before. There's going to be 4 areas that we're going to concentrate on. One of them is social awareness. We all need social awareness, don't we? Especially our young people who's falling behind these. I can't even speak the way I want to speak because the young people is falling behind faggots in this industry.
All right, I heard a little bit of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was the soundbite that was sent to us, Mr. Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
What was your intention by that?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Steve and you all for reaching out, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I would like to offer up an apology to the gay community here in Antelope Valley and abroad for using a slur that was not in the best interest of me and my point of view as a black man in America. I have a background in the entertainment industry, and I have been exposed to behavior and a lifestyle that's not conducive to the development of young people, not only here in Antelope Valley but throughout the world. And
not just the music industry, according to the likes of Corey Feldman and all that.
No, but I can only speak from the music industry standpoint. I used to be a manager for artists in that industry. Mm-hmm. And it was so horrifying. I had to leave the industry based on what I was exposed to. So when I made the statement or when I made the slur, it wasn't, to belittle the gay community. It wasn't to talk down on the gay community. Apparently, obviously they're going through some of the things that I went through as a Muslim in terms of discrimination, in terms of, fighting for our rights here in this country and abroad. So once again, as a commissioner for the city of Lancaster, I would like to offer up a sincere apology. Now, in doing that, I would also like to create a dialogue so the gay community would know that, my intentions was not to belittle them. My intentions was not to degrade them. My intentions as a city official is to begin to coordinate efforts to address the ills of the young people in the Antelope Valley. I mean, there's some things that's happening that all of us need to be aware of. For example, we have prostitution here in the Antelope Valley. We still have the residue of gang violence here in the Antelope Valley. We still have synthetic drugs that's taking the minds of our young people. And so these things we have to address. So my slur, once again, was not directed toward the gay community in general. And
who was it directed toward then?
Those individuals that's in the industry, the rappers that we listen to, our young people listen to. If you turn your radio on right now, you would hear exactly what I'm speaking about if you pay close attention to some of the lyrics.
I can hear it at stoplights.
So when you use the word, you were really not referring to gay people. You were using that word relating to
like
the rap industry,
a predatory element within the rap industry.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, and because I have a background in entertainment, I was exposed to it. So the term in the industry is used every day.
Yeah.
And I think the gay community not only should how they are coming out in defense of their position in regards to one word that I use, but they should also do the same thing with the entertainment industry and go public and say, look, enough is enough, because what's happening behind the doors that is being promoted to our young people is an atrocity. And so, therefore, I'm going to create a dialogue through this process to create relationships with the gay community here in Antelope Valley. And I'm willing to come wherever the forum is at and sit down with them. I have family members that's gay, so why would I come out and bash gay people when I don't have a problem with the gay community? So I don't know who's behind it in terms of coming out publicly and saying they want to have the mayor to take me away from a newly appointed position as a commissioner. But it could be another agenda, because the mayor he has nothing to do with this. The city of Lancaster has nothing to do with this. This was a slur that I said publicly.
I'll tell you who, Mr. Muhammad, I'll tell you who I received the press release from. I received the press release, and it was signed, and we were told to contact either Veronica Fields or Brandon Zavala, the event organizers.
Right. So, okay, so I'll reach out to them, and hopefully they'll respond. If not, you all can reach out to them, and I'm willing to even come on the radio with them to have this dialogue, because it's, once again, I had no intention, no ill intent toward the gay community. I have people in my family that's gay that I love to this day. However, you know, I can become more politically correct, even though I'm not a politician. And in terms of using that slur, it won't come out of my mouth again, period. Yeah. And so all I can do is atone and reconcile for the slur, but I don't know if there's another agenda here.
No, I honestly don't think that there was another agenda. I think that they were reacting from the word in and of itself. I mean, I will say that after you said that word, you did start talking about the music industry, and I was wondering how that correlated. But understanding now that that word for you had dual meanings, I can understand where you got it from. It's just
if I had known that this is why I need to be, this is why I want to create the dialogue, to become educated in terms of the gay community and what their belief system is, because if I had known that particular word was that offensive, do you think I would have said it?
Well, that word is very offensive. How do you not know that?
All right.
I mean, you can't say that. You know the word is offensive in and of itself.
Well, in the industry, it's not.
Yeah, but you were on a public setting talking to mothers and children.
But in the real world, it is. As an example, in the industry, the N-word is not a bad word.
It's not only in the industry that the word N-word is not a bad word, though.
But in the world, it is. The way I was brought up.
But that's not.
Here we go. Okay, Angelina.
But that's not the case, Steve. In my community, in certain sects of my community, the N-word is not a bad word.
You see, I told you, Stan. See?
Yeah.
I mean,
we talked about you before we came on.
I think it's
what I would like to see happen. You know, of course, the mayor can make a decision to either keep me on the commission or let me go. However, even whatever decision he decides to make, which he's a beautiful man, for even reaching out to me and asking me to become a commissioner, because I didn't drop out of heaven. I mean, for real. My background is crazy. You know what I mean? So I know what it feels like not to be, accounted for. You know what I mean? I know the feelings that when you're being discriminated against, when you can't really share how your point of view. So I know that feeling. And once again, if what I said was that offensive, then let's create a dialogue around why I said it. And let's see if we can change possibly at least the local entertainment industry. We have rappers right here, in the Antelope Valley that believes that the behavior is okay, believe that prostitution is okay, believe that putting women out on the videos half naked is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can take a stand on that part, and maybe I could be used as an instrument in a way to where if I'm coming out and saying, look, I don't have a problem with the gay community, I'm not homophobic or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I got family members that's gay. I apologize for the slur. But how can we clean up, the behavior?
Right. You're trying to bring it back to the point that you were trying to make regarding the music industry.
And how can we stand together? Because, the gay community is an international movement. I mean, I haven't heard anyone from the gay community speak on the issue that's related to the industry right now. All I do know is you can turn on your radio right now and you can hear the language.
Oh yeah, I don't know any sane person that believes that most of the subjects that they speak of in the rap industry is suitable. I have a cousin that's a renowned what is it called? Producer, and he defends it wholeheartedly. And I'm like, well, why is it that the subject matter always has to be X, Y, and Z? Why can't you rap about the sun coming out or someone graduating from college?
That's country music.
Well, if you listen to the sound bite, country music, you're right, Steve. I mean, it's sometimes I got to listen to country music, just to mellow out, or some jazz music. But I'm a big time rap fan. Don't make no mistake about it. But I can't let my children listen to the radio when I'm driving to LA.
No,
I have to put on a CD or something. I got to listen to jazz music or Sade or somebody, because if I turn on the station that they want to listen to, it's all promoting death. But I was getting to a point. I was supposed to have been speaking about 4 areas that we wanted to address with young people, which is social, political, economic, and spiritual. And so the Antelope Valley Youth Ambassador Program, if you look at that press release, that's my ideal. I brought that ideal to the organizers. So when you heard me speak, we got to organize 1,000 youth. The goal was to organize them so we can begin to change the behavior. Because I can take y'all tonight on Avenue 10th Street and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Tonight, if you want to go out at 2 in the morning, I can show you young people at the age of 14 walking around spaced out. I can show you young women at the age of 14 half naked. I can show you exactly what I was trying to say at the rally or at the press, at the prayer visual. Once again, for the gay community that's listening, I have no issue with the gay community. I cannot have an issue with the gay community because I have family members that's gay. And I don't, sit there and talk about them. I love them. They're my family.
I hear you, but that's, Paula Dean said she didn't have any problem with the African community, African American community.
No, but Paula Dean didn't use the word out of context. She used that word knowing exactly. She used the word the way she wanted to use the word. He's saying that he used that word under a different meaning. And so he made poor choice in using that word, but it wasn't meant for, he didn't use that word to apply to gays. Paula used that word to apply to black people, Steve. There's a big difference.
And for those who know me in the community, I'm a God-fearing man. So at the end of the day, I have no problem sincerely apologizing to anyone that I may have offended, because I'm here to serve the Creator. And I'm here to serve the community, not just the black community or the brown community, but all the community. To this day, I still don't know why the mayor asked me to become a commissioner, but I became one. I'm not a politician. I'm a newly appointed commissioner on the Neighborhood Vitalization Commission. My goal and my desire is to see the community become a better community, period. And so I want to create a dialogue, and we need to maybe go public with this discussion with me in the gay community here in Antelope Valley, so we can begin to talk about some of the things that I'm seeing, some of the things that they may be seeing, and how can we work together to better the community.
I understand completely, Sam, and let me, Angelina, let me explain this. When I called Mr. Muhammad this morning, I told him, and you can jump in anytime, Stan, but I told him that we'd received the press release. I listened to the soundbite. This is what was said, and I also said, if it's being taken out of context, if you meant something else, this would be a good chance for you to comment on it and get out in front of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, because just a moment ago, when I made the comment, and I was not equating Mr. Muhammad to Paula Dean exactly, okay? Or I wouldn't say, hey, well, Alec Baldwin a week ago did the same thing and used the same word, and he got in trouble too. That's not what I'm saying. Because when I did say that, Angelina turned around and was about to throw me through the wall. Mm-hmm. Okay? I understand what you're trying to explain, Stan, and I'd love to invite you onto the show. And I'll invite Veronica or Brandon Zavala on the show as well. And you can discuss what transpired and maybe make an apology and explain, especially to them and to Brandon.
Just work out some kind of understanding. Let them know where you're coming from.
And in the process of doing this, as long as everybody's intentions is right, something good can come out of this, because now I'm being educated. In terms of the gay community and what they have suffered. So I think by you all creating this platform, Steve, I didn't know you until now, so I appreciate the phone call. And so, once again, if I was a ill type person, or someone who walks around with hatred in his heart, or someone who don't understand the importance of justice for all, then of course I would have said something way farther worse than what I said. But because I'm not that type of person, and I really want to see Antelope Valley become a better community collectively, then I'm willing to do whatever it takes that makes sense. That's right. And the then the first step I must take is, since I offended a group of people, as a man of God, I'm willing to apologize and reconcile my differences with that group, because they have not done anything to me, nor my family. So I'm not going to walk around here with bitterness in my heart toward a group of people that have never done nothing wrong to me. And even if somebody have done something wrong to me, if they come to me and say, man, I apologize for offending you, as a man of God, guess what I have to do? Accept that apology.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, based on listening to what Mr. Mohammed just said, okay, do you think removing Mr. Mohammed as a commissioner in the city of Lancaster is warranted?
No.
No.
But I didn't think so before either.
You see why it was important to come on the show?
Yes, sir.
Because you can get a lot of, people can misinterpret what was being said and get a big bonfire going.
And you don't hear anything after that word. You know what I mean? A lot of times you drop that bomb.
That's why I have to question, and I think we should do this publicly, the motive in terms of going public with, because even when I said it, it was brought to my attention that you may have offended some people out here. I immediately requested Veronica to give me the mic to let me start the process of letting them know that I wasn't saying that to offend the gay community.
Well,
and how'd that go, though? Were you able to start that process?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm hoping the motive is to create an understanding and tolerance through this process, because whoever's behind it, everybody that was there heard me come back to the mic.
What's interesting and why I reached out to you, and I told you that, I think it's a great idea that you get in front of this morning.
Yes, sir.
The press release did not state that after you said that, you took the microphone and made a public apology.
No, it didn't.
The press release didn't refer to that at all. And, we're News Talk Radio for the entire Antelope Valley. And what's really important is we like to bring both sides to any issue, which is why I called and woke you up this morning and said, hey, this is what I got, and I'd like you to comment on it, because that's really important.
I say this to you guys. Not only have you created a new listener, I didn't even know about you guys. So now that you did this here, you have a friend in me, man. Your whole station doing. I will begin to promote people, because I don't know who all listen to your program, but I'll let people know, man, this is a real progressive radio station, because you didn't have to call me this morning. And I would have woke up and heard about this, and even though I got access to the press release, I have it in my possession. But, man, I thank you, man, because, once again, to the gay community, I'm not the enemy. I understand. I apologize for the slur. I will say that until the end of the earth, because at the end of the day, only God can judge us.
That is the truth.
I hear you. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show, Stan, and you're welcome to come on anytime.
All right, I think we should set that up, though. I think we should set it up with the other parties, though.
Well, we'll reach out to
I've already got ideas rolling through my head.
We will do that. We will most definitely do that. I've got your number. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll make it happen.
All right, Steve. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
God bless.
God bless you.
Yep.
The nice thing about News Talk Radio is you get to bring on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. I did want to bring on Brandon and people that issued the press release. They're going into some meeting this morning regarding this press release, and they're pushing full steam ahead. In all fairness, and albeit Lancaster, Palmdale, it makes no difference. It's important to get both sides to everything. We had the press release. They're at midnight. They're sending me sound bites, and that's what I had to go with. Right. So I've got to reach out to the other side.
And in all honesty, before speaking to him, I did question how it had to do with the music, because he kept with his frame of thought when he related to when he said that slur, and then he continued his statement. I was confused on how it had anything to do with music, but I really didn't think that he'd be able to give me a rational explanation as to why he would use that word.
Right.
I really didn't. So, poor choice of words, absolutely, on his part, but I really don't think there was anything malicious that was intended.
It didn't sound like he was doing a blanket bash of the
Yeah, because he wasn't talking to that community.
Right.
If he was saying, you know what, I really believe that being gay is an abomination and it's against God and blah, blah, blah. If that was his complete statement, then using that slur would have absolutely related to
would have had a whole different context.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think that he just used a poor choice of word in describing, you know, the music sect that he was talking about, which was sad. But I also believe that if I'm gay and I'm in that setting and I hear you use that word, I don't hear anything else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it wouldn't have mattered if you said
everything else stops.
God was coming, he's across the street. I wouldn't have heard anything else because that word just stops you.
Mm-hmm.
If it, you know, if it relates to your.
Because and you know, in the gay community, they pass that word around a lot. Very similar to in the black community with the N-word, but it's not okay for somebody that's not part of that community to use that word.
That's a good analogy. Can you relate to it now?
I don't think it's right in either way.
But you see what it is. I mean, and you could absolutely be one of those people that would never use it either way. And there's absolutely a lot of black Americans that don't believe in using the N-word at all. Then there is some. And it's just about understanding someone else's viewpoint. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with it. You just have to understand that there's another viewpoint.
I have a viewpoint, too.
Yeah. Oh, and you have every right to it. You do. Absolutely. It's just really about, you know, and it doesn't stem from Trayvon getting killed, but it covers over all things because it really just boils down to being able to appreciate each person as an individual and understand that everyone's going to have their opinion and don't judge anybody by what they look like. You just can't do it.
But I think words like that dehumanize on both sides, both words.
Well, that's your opinion, and I appreciate it.
Tomorrow, we have Lancaster's very own Tom Lackey on the show.
Lancaster?
Palmdale's. Wednesday we have Sandy Corrales.
Yes.
Friday we have Sandy Smith from the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. So we've got a great show.
A busy week.
And I like the fact that today Mr. Mohammed took the time to come on the show.
Appreciate that.
And I hope Mayor R.X. Paris never says I'm not fair. He definitely reached out to make certain that we were fair this morning.
That's true.
And that he had an opportunity to explain himself.
And I think he got his say, and nobody beat up on him. So
it should be a done deal.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. You're listening to AV Newscast, the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. We'll be back tomorrow.